All right, so welcome to the sixth episode of the Wolverine Whisper. We're back again. I'm Seth Berry, as always, along with Ryan Krause and Noah Poser, and we're here to talk about the world of Michigan, Michigan athletics, football and basketball. In the football world, we had National Signing Day this week, which was on Wednesday. Um, National Signing Day, it's kind of used to be a big thing in college football. It's kind of lost its luster. Not a little bit, a lot over the last couple of years, just because of the early signing period being a factor now, where kids can sign their letter of intent early, so the classes are pretty much filled out, and by the time National Signing Day comes around, and that was the case for Michigan, where they had all but one of their guys had signed, so they picked up one signee yesterday in Quentin Johnson, safety, 4-star from St. John's College High School in Washington, D.C. And that was their final pickup. So to kind of round out their class, they finished 8th overall in the nation according to 247 Sports, and they finished with the number one class in the Big Ten. I think it's 5 spots ahead of Penn State and 6 spots ahead of Ohio State. So a really promising class. A lot to look forward to as they have to obviously fill some holes going into the start of next season. But it should be really exciting. Obviously, the big one was Dax Hill when he flipped from Michigan, to Alabama and then back to Michigan. And that was obviously a big get. But
I've never seen Michigan Twitter so demoralized after Dax Hill
yeah,
decommitted.
yeah,
It was just like, the world is going to end. We're not getting Dax Hill.
yeah. And of course, that was when everyone was frustrated with the losing that was going on at the end of the year, and it just kind of piled on, when that happened. And then, the reports that he might actually flip back, I don't think anyone really believed it till it happened, but, it certainly did. So, that was a big pickup, and obviously we talked a little bit about the wide receivers coming in, and then Zach Charbonnet coming in at running back should maybe be able to make an immediate impact. Another big storyline in Michigan football was Pep Hamilton being let go. As the wide receiver coach. Yeah, and a lot of Michigan fans were calling for that as well. I think it's really only a matter of time because you knew the coaching staff was kind of overcrowded on that side of the ball, especially with Gaddis coming in. So and also being a wide receiver specialist himself. So that was a big move or big news. And then Chris Evans, not being with the team anymore because of academic issues, and he came out and kind of said where he was at and what state he was in, and that he would still be at the university, but obviously not with the team. So which leaves maybe Christian Turner gets more of a time, more of a chance next year to fill that starting role, and then obviously Charbonnet as well. Like I said, could see some early action. So what's your guys' kind of reaction, to any of that, really? The recruiting class as a whole, who you think will come in here and to Michigan and make a big impact? And then, you talk about Pep Hamilton a little bit, Chris Evans, whatever you want to talk about. So
on the recruiting side of things, the biggest name for me that I'm going to watch, he's a 4-star guy, probably not going to play for quite a while, but Cade McNamara, coming out of Nevada, is the state's all-time leader in high school passing touchdowns and passing yards. I mean, right now you have a succession plan of Shea Patterson, Dylan McCaffrey, Joe Milton, Cade McNamara, set you up for at least the next 5-6 years into the future. So that was the biggest thing for me. And they went and got him over teams like Alabama, SC, and those guys who were in the mix. And then the departure of Evans, that's obviously a big loss. But I mean, the running back room was already going to be crowded next season. We didn't really know how it was going to shake out. You had Evans, you had True Wilson, and then you had Christian Turner, and then, of course, Charbonnet coming in, which now it looks like that Charbonnet coming in is going to be even bigger than we originally thought. I think early on, obviously, you'll probably see True Wilson, Christian Turner get the majority of the load, or I think easily by the end of the season, we could be talking about Charbonnet as by far the biggest recruit from this class after next season. And then Pep Hamilton, obviously, lots of fans, myself included, were not really pleased with how the offense was last season, and obviously he was a big part of that. And obviously Pep Hamilton's a great coach. Nobody's going to dispute that. He's had success elsewhere. He'll continue to have success in the future. But just with the changes, with Gaddis coming in, I think it was just time break off that relationship, move in a new direction. So overall, there's obviously been a lot of good in Michigan football lately. The loss of Evans, obviously very large, and that's going to hurt the team quite a bit, early on at least. But still moving in the right direction as a whole with the program.
Yeah, I think when they're really going to feel the Chris Evans departure, if he in fact doesn't get back with the team by next season, I think they're definitely going to feel it in the Big Ten when Big Ten play starts, because it's a different animal than who they're going to be playing non-conference. I don't think they play Army, so they don't have those.
Army could sneak up on them though.
Army's going to be top 25 to start the season.
They bring back like a good majority of their team, I believe, too.
They could easily get a New Year's Six Bowl next year.
Yeah. That'll be a challenge, but yeah, it's a game that should win at home.
Maisie Smith, or Mozzie, however you say his name, Maisie Smith, he should be a big difference maker on the defensive line. I think he's got a college body already, so I believe he'll make a big difference, especially because we've lost. I mean, you lose Chase Winovich, Rashawn Gary, Solomon to transfer, so I think he's going to have to come in and make a big impact. And I think all the early enrollees, except for maybe Eric All and Cade McNamara, got a chance to at least get in on special teams in the upcoming season. Looks like they could all play early, even if they get there. I don't think they'd start, but a lot of the guys are going to probably see some time as a freshman, along with some of the guys that aren't early enrollees like Daxton Hill. You got Chris Hinton, and then obviously some of the receivers. They got a big class of receivers, so I think that they did well with some of the positions of need. And I don't really have anything to say about Pep Hamilton. He missed the boat this year. He didn't do very well, so I think that it'll be good that Gaddis is in, and it'll be a new direction. Probably take a couple games to see what his game plan is going to be all about, but I think he should have a lot of success, and Pep Hamilton will probably have a lot of success in his next endeavor as well.
Yeah.
Speaking of Pep Hamilton, did you guys see the report out there that he's going to coach in the XFL?
Is he?
That's the rumor.
Like a head coach?
I don't know.
I think it is a head coach. And Bob Stoops.
Bob Stoops is coaching
Stoops is going to go in the XFL too.
Yeah, the
getting everybody.
Dallas
getting all
team.
the big names.
Yeah, Dallas have an XFL team. Yeah, so Stoops will be coaching that. That's kind of
He's taking over the Washington D.C. franchise, and he's expected to serve as the coach and GM.
Pep will Hamilton. Yeah, that'll be interesting. I don't know. I really wasn't like that excited for that league, but obviously Stoops is a big name, and then Hamilton is a proven coach. So I don't know. And I never like watched any XFL. Like I don't even know what year it came on. But I've seen like clips or highlights, and obviously wasn't very successful in his on, but I don't know. I don't think it'll be greatly successful, but it'll still be interesting to see, how that whole league plays out. Yeah, and obviously wish him the best in that. As far as Michigan's recruiting, one other thing I did want to say about Hamilton is that, like, how like everyone's kind of a scapegoat, like, and he was kind of that guy for Michigan. I don't think it was all totally his fault. I think he was still, he was operating under Harbaugh's regime, still, and I think Harbaugh still, plays a big part in that in terms of the offense and the control he wanted within the offense. But yeah, but I think that the changes were still made for the better, with the Gaddis coming in and taking full control, and then Hamilton, obviously played a part in the offensive struggles. So just wanted to put that out there. And then with the recruiting class, I think the biggest need, I think, defensively, offensively, I think they're okay on the offensive line. A lot of improvement, and they bring some guys back there. But I think on the defensive line, with the obvious departures of Winovich and Gary, you'll have Josh Uche and Kwity Paye coming off the edge to be able to rush the passer there. But just the whole defensive line depth as a whole. I mean, I think Chris Hinton, being a 5-star, 6'4", 280, big body already out of Georgia, will be exciting to be able to hopefully make a hopefully an immediate impact, but if not immediate, a little bit further down the road. But DeJuan Ford was good last year, but they're going to need some help in that on the interior line, because Uche and Kwity Paye are good players, but I don't think they can rush a passer like Winovich and Gary could off the edge. So I think that'll be one thing defensively.
Yeah, especially because they're going to have expanded roles. We'll see how they respond to that.
Yeah. Well, you saw when Uche had to fill in, he had some really good games, but then as the season wore on, I think as he got more reps, he wasn't able to get to the quarterback like he was able to earlier in the season. Mm-hmm. So, I think it kind of took a toll on him playing more snaps. So, yeah, I think just depth all around there will be really critical. And yeah, and then on the offense side of the ball, we've hit a lot on the wide receivers and them being able to get the ball to those guys, and hopefully guys like Tariq Black, obviously Donovan Peoples-Jones, the guys that are coming back, I would be able to make a big impact and get them the ball, but also the other guys coming in, Giles Jackson and Cornelius Johnson could make an impact as well. So
it's going to be a competitive room, that's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, overall, I think there's a ton of things to be excited about. In the class of 2019. Is there anything else you guys want to hit on? About the class as a whole, particular player or anything?
A name to watch out for, I would say, Mike Sane still from Massachusetts, 3-star recruit, can play both offense and defense. Most likely he'll play cornerback at Michigan, but it will be interesting to see if they design anything up for offense because he's really deadly with the ball in his hands from what I've seen of him, his high school film. So that'll be something that I'll be keeping an eye on.
I did also kind of want to talk about, I almost skipped over it, but about Amari Pesek that signed with Kansas on National Signing Day. He was a Michigan for a while, and then Harbaugh kind of told him, it'd be a better idea for you to maybe enroll in a prep school, because I don't think his grades weren't bad, but they weren't the greatest. So, but I think Michigan had a scholarship issue, going into next year in terms of maybe having too many guys and not having enough scholarships to to fill. So I don't know. I think that's kind of the unfortunate nature of the whole recruiting landscape. Hickson, it was good that he was able to sign with Kansas and be able to play for Les Miles there. But what do you guys kind of think about? Because I also saw an article about about schools They offer a lot of scholarships, but they can't honor a lot of those. So what do you think about that whole like landscape of recruiting in general? Like, do you think? I mean, me personally, I think you have to offer a lot of scholarships because if those players are going to go elsewhere, and it's hard to you can't have enough. I don't know.
You
What I'm
can't
trying to
just
say
offer
is
20 guys and then if
right.
that's all you get, and then
Yeah,
8 of them sign with
that's
you
what
and you're
you get.
screwed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, you can't just say, yeah, okay, yeah, if that's what we get. If we're short, we're short. You can't do that. So I don't know. What do you get? What's your guys' take on the whole that situation, then the recruiting landscape as a whole?
In this particular situation, the interesting thing here is you've heard so many different sides to this story. You have Pesic Hickson, you have him talking. He said that they basically just duped him, and at the end they were like, sorry, we don't have room. Maybe go to prep school and then come here in 2020. But then I read an article just yesterday where they interviewed his high school coach, and his high school coach seemed to side with Michigan and and according to his knowledge, he said that Harbaugh had told him that prep school was a chance that could happen throughout the entire process, and that he was going to keep working with Harbaugh in the future. Harbaugh was welcome to go recruit into his school. Obviously, the family tells a different story, so I don't know if we'll ever know exactly what went down or why it happened. But obviously, this is a thing that happens a lot. Like you guys said, you can't just offer scholarships to 20, 25 people and just hope that those are who you get. You have to offer more scholarships than you can hand out. So unfortunately, this is a situation that's happened in the past. It's going to keep happening. I don't really know if there's a way to fix it. And obviously, it's going to lead to some hurt feelings by certain players. But I mean, there's not really any change coming to it that I foresee, so I don't know what you can really take out of this other than it's just unfortunate.
Yeah, I also wonder with the 2 signing dates too, that if it would have been a different story if he would have signed in December, like, because they did offer I know they put 3 walk-ons on scholarship at Michigan, so I don't know if that had any bearing on what was going to happen with Hickson, but it seems like they were like, okay, you're going to wait until the next signing day, and well, the actual signing day, but and then they put 3 walk-ons on scholarships. So I don't know. That probably played a big role in it, and there might have been a little doubt in their mind that he was going to end up coming to Michigan, or they would have known the entire time that prep school was what they were going to offer him instead of an actual scholarship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that's that's why a lot of these players are signing in the early period, in case of a situation like that, and kind of, especially if they're, maybe a 3-star or maybe on the fence of, maybe they won't have any room for me on the team, once signing day comes around. But yeah, I think all in all, I think going to prep school for a year, especially if you don't have the grades and you can kind of, get those up and play another year, football isn't the worst option. There's been multiple guys that have done that and that have been successful. But I think all in all is not the worst situation because obviously he's still signed with Kansas and will play football next year. So that's a good thing for a good coach. But yeah, like you say, no, I don't know if there's a clear solution to that. I just thought it was a interesting point. People are making, like say, there's multiple sides of the story, and people are making various points. I was listening to the radio about how it's kind of, I guess, wrong for coaches to do that, but I don't know. It's just part of it's how the system works. So I don't know if you can really change it. But yeah, as far as on the football side of things, that kind of wraps up the whole recruiting class. Like I say, a lot of good things to expect from this class, and and hopefully Michigan will be able to to make a run next year at at their first Big Ten title, and some of these guys hopefully contribute